Welcome to IAS Academy. Prior to the 2023 preliminary exam, we will cover 15 questions daily in a video. So, let's start our session. Our first question is, who of the following founded a new city on south bank of a tributary to river Krishna and undertook to rule his new kingdom as agent of a deity to whom all the land of south of river Krishna was supposed to belong? Options are Amoghavarshava 1, Ballala 2, Harihara 1, Prataparudra 2. Here answer to this question is option C, Harihara 1. In 1336, Vijayanagar kingdom was established by Harihara I and Bukka, who were two brothers and served in the army of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. They broke away from the Delhi Sultanate and established an independent state in Karnataka and established the capital city Vijayanagara on the banks of river Tungabhadra in 1336. Harihara and Bukka were helped and inspired by contemporary scholar and a saint Vidyaranya for the establishment of their kingdom. Vijayanagara Empire was ruled by four important dynasties, namely Sangama, Saluva, Tuluva and Aravidu. In 1336 AD, Harihara I became the ruler of Sangama dynasty. He captured Mysore and Madurai. His initial military exploits established his control over the valley of Tungabhadra river, that is a tributary of Krishna, and gradually he expanded his control to certain regions of Konkan and Malabar coast. In 1356 AD, Bukka I succeeded Harihara I. So here answer to this question is option C. Question number 2. Consider the following. The arrival of Babur into India led to the options are introduction of gunpowder, introduction of the arch and dome in the regions of architecture, establishment of Timur dynasty. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here answer to this question is option B. Statement 3 only is correct. The Mongols' invasion led to the transmission of gunpowder and gunpowder weapons into India. Chinese gunpowder technology is believed to have arrived in India by the mid-14th century, but it was introduced much earlier by the Mongols. It is believed that Mongols used Chinese gunpowder weapons during their invasion of India. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The arch and dome in the regions of architecture were introduced by the Turks after the invasion of Muhammad Ghori. Hence, statement 2 is incorrect. Babur is the founder of Mughal Empire in India. He was a descendant of Timur on his father's side and Genghis Khan on his mother's side. His original name was Sahruddin Muhammad. Hence, statement 3 is correct. So, your answer to this question is option B. Question number 3. Who of the following organized a march on the Tanjore coast to break salt law in April 1930? Options are V.O. Chidambaram Pillai, C. Rajagopalachari, K. Kamraj and Andy Besant. The answer to this question is option B, C. Rajagopalachari. When Gandhi led the Dandi March to break the salt law in 1930, Rajagopalachari carried out a similar march at Vedaranyam in Madras Presidency. He was arrested in April 1930 for leading a salt march from Trichinopoli to Vedaranyam on the Tanjore coast. He participated in Gandhi's non-cooperation movement. He was also jailed for 2 years in Vellore in 1920. After his release, he opened his own ashramam to promote Gandhi's principles of Hindu-Muslim harmony and the abolition of untouchability. He was also a proponent of Khadi. He was also involved in the Vaikam Satyagraha movement against untouchability. In 1939, Rajagopalachari took a step to abolish untouchability and caste prejudice and issued the Madras Temple Entry Authorization and Indemnity Act. Through this, Dalits were allowed to enter inside temple. He also became the editor of Gandhi's newspaper, Young India. But during the Quit India movement, Rajagopalachari opposed Gandhi. He believed that British were going to leave the country eventually, so launching another satyagraha was not a good decision. So, your answer to this question is option B. Question number 4. Consider the following statements. The first woman president of INC was Sarojini Naidu. That is incorrect. The first Muslim president of International Congress was Badruddin Tyagi. That is correct. Which of the statement given above is or are correct? Here answer to this question is option B. Statement 2 only is correct. INC was established in 1885 by a retired civil servant, Alan Octavian Hume. First president of INC was W.C. Banerjee and the first woman president of INC was Annie Besant and the first Muslim president of INC was Badruddin Tyagi. So, your answer to this question is option B. Question number 5. With reference to near field communication technology, which of the following statement is or are correct? It's a contactless communication technology that uses electromagnetic radio fields. That is correct. NFC is designed for use by devices which can be at a distance of even a meter from each other. That is incorrect. NFC can use encryption when sending sensitive information. That is correct. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. The answer to this question is option C. Statement 1 and 3 are correct. NFC is a short-range wireless connectivity technology that lets NFC-enabled devices communicate with each other. Such devices include mobile phones, tablets, laptops, and wearables. NFC transmits data through electromagnetic radio fields to enable two devices to communicate with each other. To work, both devices must contain NFC chips, as transaction takes place within a very short distance. NFC-enabled devices must be either physically touching or within a few centimeters of each other for data transfer to occur. Hence, statement 2 is incorrect. Because the receiving devices reads your data, the instant you send it, NFC greatly reduces the chance of human error. For example, that you cannot purchase something unknowingly because of a pocket dial or by walking past a location that embedded with an NFC chip. You must perform action intentionally with NFC. So, your answer to this question is option C. Question number 6. Consider the following pairs. Champaka, Central India, that is incorrect. Champaka means Champa, that is in Himachal Pradesh. Durgara, Jammu, that is correct. Kuluta, Malabar, that is incorrect. Kuluta means Kulu, that is in Himachal Pradesh. Which of the above pairs is or are correctly matched? Here, answer to this question is option B. Pair 2 only is correctly matched. The foothills of the Himalayas lend themselves admirably to small kingdoms of land owing to the nature of the country. The 9th century saw the rise of number of hill states, some of which maintained their identity until recent years. Despite their wars with each other and the frequent raids from the men of the plains, states such as Champaka, Durgara, Trigala, Kuluta, Kumaon and Garhwal managed to remain outside the main areas of conflict in the northern plains. And here, Champa and Kulu are in Himachal Pradesh. So, your answer to this question is option B. Question number 7. Consider the following rivers. Vamshadhara, Indravati, Pranahita, Pennar. Which of the above are tributaries of Godavari? Here, answer to this question is option D, 2 and 3 only. That is, Indravati and Pranahita are tributaries of Godavari. Left tributaries of Godavari include Banganga, Kadva, Shivana, Purna, Kadam, Pranahita, Indravati, Talipperu, Shabari. Right tributaries of Godavari include Nasarti, Pravara, Sinfana, Manjira, Manai. So, your answer to this question is option D. Question number 8. Which one of the following regions of India has a combination of mangrove forest, evergreen forest and deciduous forest? Options are North Coastal Andhra Pradesh, Southwest Bengal, Southern Saurashtra, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Here, answer to this question is option D, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Tropical rainforests call these places home. The dominant species are giant Dipterocarpus, Terminalia and Lacerostomia. Mangroves can also be found along the coast. The South Andaman forests have a profuse growth of epiphytic vegetation, mostly ferns and orchids. The Middle Andamans are largely covered with humid deciduous woods. North Andaman is characterized by moist evergreen variety with plenty of woody climbers. The North Nicobar Islands have no evergreen woods, while such forests form the dominant vegetation in the central and southern islands of the Nicobar. Grasslands occur only in the Nicobar, and while deciduous forests are common in the Andamans, but they are almost absent in the Nicobars. So, your answer to this question is option D. Question number 9. In the context of modern scientific research, consider the following statements about ice cube, a particle detector located at South Pole. It is the world's largest neutrino detector encompassing a cubic kilometer of ice. That is correct. It is a powerful telescope to search for dark matter. That is correct. It is buried deep in the ice. That is also correct. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? The answer to this question is option D. All the statements are correct. The Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory is the first detector of its kind designed to observe the cosmos from deep within the South Pole ice. Encompassing a cubic kilometer of ice, Ice Cube searches for nearly massless subatomic particles called neutrinos. These high-energy astronomical messengers provide information to probe the most violent astrophysical sources, that is, events like exploding stars, gamma ray bursts, and cataclysmic phenomena involving black holes and neutron stars. Ice Cube collaborators address several big questions in physics like nature of dark matter and the properties of neutrino itself. Ice Cube also observe cosmic rays that interact with the Earth's atmosphere, which have revealed fascinating structures that are not presently understood. So your answer to this question is option D. Question number 10. The Fortaleza Declaration is related to the affairs of, options are ASEAN, BRICS, OECD, WTO. Your answer to this question is option B, BRICS. The Fortaleza Declaration is related to the affairs of 5 countries associated with BRICS. As a part of Fortaleza Declaration, these countries agreed on creating $100 billion new development bank to allow the countries to bring in resources for economic stabilization. Plans were also brought up regarding acquiring reserves amounting to $100 billion through investments made by countries associated with BRICS. One of the major organs of this declaration came up in the form of signing an agreement for the cooperation of the export credit agencies of the BRICS nations. The export credit agencies of these nations are ABGF for Brazil, XCR for Russia, ECGC for India, ECIC for South Africa, and Sinosure for China. So your answer to this question is option B. Question number 11. What is Rio Plus 20 conference often mentioned in the news? Options are, it's the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. That is correct. So your answer to this question is option A. The UN Conference on Sustainable Development, that is UNCSD, also known as Rio 2012, that is Rio Plus 20 or Earth Summit 2012, was the third international conference on sustainable development aimed at reconciling the economic and environmental goals of the global community. Hosted by Brazil in Rio de Janeiro, Rio Plus 20 was a 20-year follow-up to the 1992 Earth Summit. In Rio, member states decided to launch a process to develop a set of sustainable development goals which will build upon the Millennium Development Goals and converge with the post-2015 development agenda. So her answer to this question is option A. Question number 12. Indira Gandhi Peace Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development was received by which of the following? Options are Baba Atomic Research Center, Indian Institute of Science, Indian Space Research Organization, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. The answer to this question is option C, ISRO. The Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development is the prestigious award accorded annually by India to individuals or organizations in recognition of creative efforts towards promoting international peace, development and new international economic order, ensuring that scientific discoveries are used for the larger good of humanity and enlarging the scope of freedom. The recipients are chosen from a pool of national and international nominees. ISRO received this in 2014. Question number 13. Which of the following brings out the Consumer Price Index number for the industrial workers? Options are RBI, Department of Economic Affairs, Labour Bureau, Department of Personnel and Training. The answer to this question is option C, Labour Bureau. Consumer Price Index is a measure of change in retail prices of goods and services consumed by defined population group in a given area with reference to a base year. This basket of goods and services represents the level of living or the utility derived by the consumers at given levels of their income, prices and status. Consumer Price Index numbers for industrial workers is released by Labour Bureau. It tries to measure the alterations over a time period on the prices of a fixed basket of goods and services utilized by industrial workers. Presently, the consumer price indices compiled in India are CPI for industrial workers, CPI for agricultural laborers and rural laborers and urban laborers. So, your answer to this question is option C. Question number 14. The terms Agreement on Agriculture, Agreement on the Application of Sanitary and Phytosanitary Measures and Peace Clause are the affairs of which of the following? Food and Agricultural Organization, UNFCCC, WTO, UN Environment Programme. The answer to this question is option C, WTO. The WTO Agreement on Agriculture provides a framework for the long-term reform of agricultural trade and domestic policies with the aim of leading to fairer competition and a less distorted sector. The WTO's Agreement on the Application of Sanitary and Phytosanitary Measures aims to provide the balance between the right of governments to protect food safety, plant and animal health, and prevent these sanitary and phytosanitary measures from being unjustified trade barriers. Peace Clause holds that domestic support measures and export subsidies of a WTO member which are legal under the provisions of the Agreement on Agriculture cannot be challenged by other WTO members on ground of being illegal under the provisions of another WTO agreement. So here answer to this question is option C. Question number 15. Convertibility of rupee implies. Here answer to this question is option C, that is freely permitting the conversion of rupee to other currencies and vice versa. Rupee convertibility means the system where any amount of rupee can be converted into any other currency without any question asked about the purpose for which the foreign exchange is to be used. Convertibility establishes a system where the marketplace determines the rate of exchange through the free interplay of demand and supply forces. Non-convertibility can generally be defined with reference to transactions for which foreign exchange cannot be legally purchased, that is, import of consumer goods, or transactions which are controlled and approved on a case-by-case like regulated import, etc. So, your answer to this question is option C. So, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. We will continue with the next set tomorrow.